Do you ever have moments where you get distracted by the details? For instance, I recorded a message at church today and was uploading, and it would not upload. I had the same problem last week. It's very frustrating, but it's just kind of the way sometimes life goes. We'll have one problem or another problem or another problem, and it can get very distracting, can get very frustrating. It can be. Or maybe, you get caught up in, like we have a friend of mine at church. Why do we have to weed? She's trying to grow tomatoes, but there are all these weeds. What is the deal with all the weeds? Or sometimes, we get frustrated because the laundry. I do not understand how there is always dirty laundry. You can clean everything in the house and you turn around the next day and you've got a basket of dirty laundry. Excuse me. Or dishes. There always seem to be dirty dishes. There always seem to be tasks that need to happen. It's crazy. And there are times when those tasks and those distractions can get very frustrating. I remember hearing about churches that would fight over silly things, like what color to paint a bathroom, or, and I'll say it, whether or not to have coffee or a bottle of water, or whether or not we should move the choir, or little things, not big things that were worth arguing over, but churches that would argue over these things. Now, I am very blessed. I serve a congregation that celebrates 163 years. And I stopped and I thought about that this week and how they opened the church. They began this congregation in 1859. And within just a few years, there was a civil war full of distractions, full of things that could have, closed a church easily, and did. I know churches that did not meet during the war. And yet this church grew and it thrived, and it faced more wars. It faced pandemics. It faced the building burned 100 years ago. It's faced all kinds of distractions and struggles and challenges. And yet, we're a congregation that is strong and good. And I look at the people in my church and I am so incredibly blessed. I was at the hospital the other day with someone, and one of the elders called just to check on them, but no idea I was there, but just checking on someone. Or I know of another situation where someone was in the hospital and someone else got the phone call, and they're checking on each other and they love each other. Birthday cards that go back and forth, prayers. Oh, the prayer chain and the love and the dedication to each other. But most of all, this deep, rich faith. We can talk about difficult conversations. We can talk about current issues from faith perspectives and respect each other. It's a deep and a rich faith. I think about how it would be very easy in our world to get caught off guard by the distractions and let those things take our attention, take our devotion, or we can be focused on God and experience the holy in our presence every day. Now, not only is my congregation celebrating 163 years, but I am honored that I was ordained 27 years ago. And the church has changed so much. But this text was the same text I used 27 years ago that morning at church. It's Luke chapter 10, 38 through 42. Now as they went on their way, Jesus entered a certain village where a woman named Martha welcomed him into her home. She had a sister named Mary who sat at the Lord's feet and listened to what he was saying. But Mary was distracted by her many tasks, so she came to him and asked, "Lord, do you not care that my sister has left me to do all the work by myself? Please tell her to help me." It sounds like so many moments in our lives. But the Lord answered her, "Martha, Martha, you are worried and distracted by many things. There is need for only one. Mary has chosen the better part, which will not be taken away from her." Mary had chosen to sit at the Lord's feet and to just listen and be in the presence of the Holy. Now, I'm sure Mary did things later, but she let that time and that centering focus her, shape her, feed her, so that everything she did after that could be blessed by that. See, when we take the time and we acknowledge God's presence, then the distractions aren't distractions, they're blessings. The work that Martha was doing, to her, was a distraction. But had she taken the time to be focused on God, to know the presence of the Holy, maybe that meal would have been a blessing. Maybe those tasks would have been gifts. We spend a lot of time focused on a task. Maybe we need to focus on the Lord's voice and God's presence so that the tasks then reveal truth and become gifts and blessings. Don't let the distractions win. Let the presence of the Lord be the loudest voice you hear, the greatest presence you feel. And may you be enveloped and wrapped in the love of God, and may that guide you in your tasks in your daily life so that you're not distracted, but we're focused and we're living out of that focus of faith. So as much as the distractions of a video that wouldn't upload or a day that's going the wrong direction, I was able to find the presence of the Lord to offer a message again in a different voice, in a different way. Maybe it's what you needed to hear. May God bless you and keep you. I sure am grateful that I've spent just a little bit of time with you. Amen.